It's the cheap challenge. It's the cheap challenge. It's the cheap challenge. It's the cheap challenge. King Buddha, it's never too late to awake you. King Buddha, it's never too late for mistake to. King Buddha, it's never too late to awake you. King Buddha, it's never too late for mistake to. King Buddha, shut up or shut up. King Buddha, shut up or shut up. Fuck. Karen.
Trapmore gang, there's been a big question that's been on my mind, and it might have been on yours too. Who is running Epstein's island now? Okay, he had this creepy island. They're talking about all kinds of A-minors being on the island, celebrities, politicians, the who's who of the most powerful people on the world were apparently going to this island that he had in the British Virgin Islands, awful name by the way, and freaking off with him. He's now dead, all right? Jeffrey Epstein is now runts. All right, we're smoking Jeffrey Epstein pack every day, of course. But a lot of questions have remained. Who's still running this island? Who owns this island? Now, we did talk in a previous video where I broke down and basically exposed Jeffrey Epstein's last girlfriend, okay, and how she was basically inheriting millions of dollars, you know, land from him, property. So this is an article. Basically, he wanted to leave the PDF island to his girlfriend, okay, and basically Karina Shuliak, who I exposed in a previous video, from what I understand, she may well have inherited the island, but the island was actually sold, okay. This basically was a little news report on his island being flipped, right? Is this, I feel like this isn't going to be about what I think it is. But basically, okay, his private US Virgin Islands location was up for sale, okay? Asking price 125 million according to two sources. The executors of the estate basically listed the two private Caribbean islands that he owned off the coast of St. Thomas in the US Virgin Islands. An attorney for the estate told ABC News. He purchased the private island in 1998 for only $8 million, and it was being sold for 125 million. Can we just stop these creeps making this much money? It's ridiculous. Is there no way to stop these awful, despicable, deplorable scumbags from just running it up more than everybody else? I mean, 8 million? Are you having a laugh? Anyway, he established his permanent residence there in 2010, also a tax haven, around the time he was released from his first jail sentence in Palm Beach, Florida. He liked to refer to the estate there, to his estate there as Little St. Jeff's, according to testimony that emerged during the criminal trial of Ghislaine Maxwell. Now, he later acquired ownership of a larger neighboring island, Great St. James, and was in the process of building a new estate there at the time of his 2019 arrest, but unfortunately he couldn't finish that because he got turned in to cookies, okay? So the islands are currently encumbered by criminal activity liens placed by Denise George, the U.S. Virgin Islands Attorney General, who in early 2020 filed a civil racketeering suit against the estate, and the suit alleged that Epstein created a network of shell companies, charitable organizations, and individuals that participated in and conspired with him in a decades-long pattern of criminal activity tied to alleged S trafficking of minor girls and young women. Epstein, through and in association with defendants, trafficked, R-worded, SA'd, and held captive underage girls and young women at his properties in the Virgin Islands. What a scumbag, okay? But it was beautiful. It's a beautiful island, but it was horrendously ugly what happened there. The news reported earlier this month that lawyers for Epstein's estate were in settlement talks with the US Virgin Islands government, and one estate attorney described the two sides as being extraordinarily close to reaching a negotiated resolution. A lawyer for the estate, Daniel Weiner, all right, you definitely got to be a wiener to be working on Epstein's estate, confirmed to ABC News that the properties were listed for sale and the proceeds of any sale will be used by the estate for the resolution of any outstanding lawsuits and the regular costs of the estate's operations, and will be subject to potential claims by tax authorities, creditors, and other parties. The proceeds will be held in liened accounts, Weiner said, pending the resolution of the government's lawsuit. The estate previously unloaded two of Epstein's other properties, his Palm Beach Island seaside home and his Upper East Side Manhattan townhouse. Two other properties, Zorro Ranch in New Mexico and Avenue Foch apartment in Paris, are also for sale. The marketing of the islands is being handled by New York firms The Modeling Group and Bespoke Real Estate in partnership with US Virgin Islands-based Christie's International Real Estate. I would have bought the island, all right? We would have put it right and we would have had nothing but good, clean, honest fun on there. Now, the islands did apparently sell, okay? It says billionaire investor buys Epstein's private islands for $60 million. So they ended up having to take half of what they wanted, $125 million down to $60 million. Still pretty good profit from $8 million, but you can't enjoy it when you are living in a spliff. Okay, so it said Stephen Deckoff, the founder of Black Diamond Capital Management, said he wanted to build a 25-room resort on the islands once owned by the disgraced financier and registered S-offender Epstein. Now, I feel like the best use of this island would be to actually preserve some of the things on there and create sort of like a museum of the most depraved individual not to ever live, because there's been worse people than him, unfortunately. But it basically, you can see the properties on the coast. The billionaire investor has paid $60 million to buy his island residences off the coast of St. Thomas. Okay, the investor paid 50% less than the listing price, and a portion of the sales will go to a $105 million settlement that Mr. Epstein, the estate, reached last year with the government of the U.S. territory in the Caribbean. Mr. Deckoff, the founder of Black Diamond Capital Management, investment firm with $9 billion under management, so this is chump change to him, really. Okay, they've got offices in Stamford, Connecticut, London, Mumbai, and St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands. He acquired the islands through an investment vehicle called S.2 Investments. I wonder what S.2 stands for. Scumbag devolution. I don't know. Anyway, it says Mr. Deckoff, okay, in a news release, said he planned to build a 25-room resort. I want to hear more. I want to hear more. What are you going to do with it? One of the islands, Little St. James, where Mr. Epstein lived for the better part of 2 decades and became tarnished by allegations that it had been a place where he essayed teenage girls. The other island, Great St. James, is less developed. The release didn't specify which island that he was intending to build his resort, and at the time of Epstein's death, his estate was valued at around $600 million. When the estate did reach that civil settlement with the Virgin Islands government, the assets had fallen in worth to about $159 million, and in the years since his death, the estate paid out more than $160 million to 125 victims of his essay that had spanned decades. Many of the victims were young girls. So this is basically just a recap of what we already knew. It said an affiliated entity of Black Diamond is listed as a beneficiary of a lucrative tax incentive that's intended to spur economic development in the US Virgin Islands. The tax incentive has been granted to dozens of businesses that operate in the territory, and 2 of Epstein's companies, when they were in operation, were beneficiaries of similar tax incentives from the Virgin Islands. So these guys all stick together, all right? They get their tax... They get their little tax breaks, their little finesses, okay, and good for them, all right? They get what they need. Anyway, okay. Essentially, there's been a lot of investigation as far as actually who is running things, who's occupying the island, what is going on there, and there's been some pretty interesting videos and pieces of media that basically just break down the history of actually what's going on the island, people that have actually gone there recently, and what's actually transpiring as this island is under new ownership. Now, basically, there was a video by the YouTuber Rotten Mango, okay, shout out to her, where she basically gave a detailed description of the island's atmosphere and reputation based on, people that have been there.
Little St. James, that's Epstein's island, but the locals all call it Pedophile Island. It's a 70-acre island.
See, the locals call it PDF Island, all right? Why did this take so long to get broken down? It's ridiculous.
Island in the U.S. Virgin Islands, and it makes Jeffrey Epstein one of the very, very small group of incredibly wealthy people that own private islands. Epstein bought Little St. James for about $15 million. Besides the main house, the island has 3 guest cottages, a caretaker, and a groundkeeper's cottage, a private water filtration system utility building, a helipad, a dock, multiple swimming pools, tennis court, an enclosed lagoon, golf carts to take guests from place to place, a staff of 70 to cater to every guest's needs. But the most interesting building is a square box building on the isolated part of the island. Imagine a square, but it's blue and white stripes. It's got a gold dome at the top with 2 gold statues. It was on the most isolated part of the island. There are rumors circulating that he conducted sacrifices in there. That's where the children were taken for SA or to be killed.
If you get stuck on the melody, or if you just feel like you can't get
That is
in there. That's where the children were taken for SA or to be killed.
That is absolutely wild. Okay. Now, interestingly enough, okay, there's been disturbing footage captured of some of the interiors on the island. And this is apparently from the Epstein files of him. This is a kind of a video that was going viral of him apparently chasing someone underage around I think this was a kitchen on the island. On a kitchen island on the island. Okay, it's ironic. But this is kind of disturbing footage. This is the type of thing that was going around. Him chasing women around his Little St. James Island home. So this is not the man you want chasing you, and this is not the island you want to be getting chased around. Okay, it is pretty crazy. But basically, okay, as time went on, all right, around the time of Epstein's high-profile arrest and death, funnily enough, okay, a drone pilot would make their way to the island and actually capture footage of federal authorities collecting evidence on the island. And this has been very controversial, and ever since Epstein has been turned into cookies, he has been the subject of various snoopers that have gone to the island to try and get a deep dive and dig into what's going on
It's
there.
late afternoon in the Caribbean, and a drone is flying towards a small island. The drone approaches a white house with a blue roof. It starts looking for a spot to peep inside. Why was the drone spying on this house? Well, it belonged to financier Jeffrey Epstein, who had died in a jail cell just 2 days before.
Disgraced American financier Jeffrey Epstein has been found dead in his prison cell.
Inside the house, the drone camera finds men and women wearing shirts that read FBI and NYPD. They are raiding the place. boxing up evidence. But after a minute or two, the agents inside start covering the window up with cardboard sheets to stop the drone from peeping inside. Unperturbed, the drone sweeps up and over the house to the nearby jetty, where the agents and police officers are preparing to load evidence onto a boat. In Epstein's residences, they found lots of CCTV cameras all over the place.
Epstein used to record the behaviours that went on his island, and therefore there probably are tapes around.
The evidence in the boxes collected that day from the island and in similar raids at Epstein's mainland properties form what is now known as
the full and complete Epstein files.
We're still waiting to see the full and complete Epstein files, and in the absence of information, conspiracy theories sweep in to fill in the gaps.
It's unbelievable. The guy killed himself, and now nobody's going to know.
Even the person who flew the drone over Epstein's island got caught up in this. People online started speculating that the fugitive founder of McAfee antivirus software was the drone's pilot. He denied it and then died by apparent suicide in a Spanish prison in 2021.
Stop it. He denied it and then he died of... Oh, please stop.
Which will certainly help deal with any conspiracy theories.
Oopsie, another one bites the dust. Okay, so the public would finally get a glimpse of the interior of the property in 2025. Okay, this basically included dental rooms, and we've talked a lot about dentistry being a part of what was going on there. So this was apparently released by the Democrats. I guess you got to specify that. And this is a different subreddit. This is r/Jeffrey Epstein. I need to join this. Rational Epstein community. All right. Civil, intelligent, evidence-driven discussion. None of the crazy stuff that you're going to be seeing here. But anyway, this says the Democrats actually released the footage, these images of Epstein's island home. What does this say? Plants, truth, appear, music, deception, power. Let's say intellectual, some physics, maybe finance, political, something in face, time, just the scrawlings of a madman. Beautiful room. I guess this is like a little classroom. He probably would do a little bit of teaching here when he pretends to know about finance, even though he seemed like a pretty amateur financial operator. This is some kind of shower, sauna type room. This is quite interesting. I bet a lot of nasty stuff went on there. They're saying no trespassing. Trespassers will be prosecuted. Fortunately, some brave souls did continue to trespass there and basically do their thing. That's his phone. It's got instant speed dial to New York office, Darren's cell, Rich's office, Mike's cell, blank cell, Patrick's cell, blank office, Larry's cell. And then he's got all of his other lines there. Very interesting. I wonder who the redacted names are. Now, this is kind of like, I guess, around like a pool area. He has this sort of like light blue roof motif going on. And it was look, I'm not saying it was good what went down there, but it was a beautiful island, right? Dentistry room. We've seen this before. His girlfriend was a dentist. There's people that are making speculations that if Teefs was getting removed, all sorts of things, all right? This is one of the bedrooms. Now, what's interesting is obviously we heard a minute ago there were loads of cameras all over here, and there's obviously going to be hella nefarious, creepy stuff that was filmed, and that definitely hasn't appeared in the Epstein files. We've got these files heavily redacted. We're seeing Epstein chase people around the kitchen, but we're not seeing anyone freaking off in hidden camera footage recorded in the rooms. I understand why, but we definitely have not got the complete Epstein files, that's for sure. You know, more rooms. I mean, I'm a big fan of bathtubs. That is a beautiful looking bathtub. Unfortunately, this bathtub probably had bodies on it. But, you know, nice little four-poster bed. I mean, the design and the decor was pretty exquisite. People saying all of his properties look the same, somehow both tacky and sterile. If you showed me pics of his properties but didn't tell me whose they were, I'd be creeped out immediately. Also, is that a dentist office? Maybe an esthetician's office? Either way, what the F?
I tried a ton of AI work.
Okay, saying, ayo, what the F? It's super creepy, right? So there's a very small bit of information has come to light with all these photos, letters, and emails that Epstein couldn't spell for shit. He was a whiz at math. Doesn't need to be a good writer, it seems. The lack of windows is horrifying. I want to know whose faces are on the wall around the barbershop chair. That's a dentist chair. Looks like some eyes wide shut Squid Game shit. Rich douchebags always have the worst taste in decor. People confused about the dentist chair. Now we know, though. Now we know. I want to see the blacked out names on the phone. And why is Patrick not blacked out? Right? I've always wondered. I thought there was probably wealthy donors for both Republicans and Democrats who visited the islands. Redacting the names on the phone makes me think, uh-oh, not trying to have problems with the big man, okay? All right, I'm scared. Maybe one day, all right? Maybe one day we'll get into it. But anyway, now, interestingly enough, all right, I've already told you about the property share, exchanging hands and things like that. And, if you want to know more about his girlfriend that allegedly briefly inherited the island before it got sold, you can go and watch the video that I did on that. But what's interesting is that in August of 2025, Inside Edition actually visited the island and showcased that there were workers still there. But interestingly enough, there was no visible work on the apparent resort that billionaire was going to build. No progress, no visible anything was going on. What's going on with the island? Look at this.
This boat captain, Guy Dom, ferried Epstein to and from the island.
There was a time I took Jeffrey Epstein's party of 4 out here to the island, and it's basically a woman about his age and a couple of girls that looked like they were 13, 14, maybe 15 years old, sisters, and I dropped them off. Didn't think anything of it.
Guy Dom says at the time he assumed that the passengers were Epstein's wife and kids. It wasn't until later that he learned Epstein didn't have a family.
It dawned on me, if those aren't his kids, maybe those were victims.
He gave us a tour of the island, which is just a 10-minute boat ride from St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands.
Up on the hill here, we see Jeffrey Epstein's bedroom. Part of the bedroom has a desk in it so he could do work in there.
He shared this video with us he took inside of Epstein's bedroom. There's his desk and bed. And look at this. For some reason, he even had an office meant for an eye doctor. The island is now owned by a billionaire investor who bought it 2 years ago for $60 million. He reportedly plans to turn it into a luxury 25-room resort, which explains the presence of all those workers. A temple that Epstein built at the top of the island has been boarded up and painted over. When Inside Edition producer Will Evans tried to speak to the workers, they didn't have anything to say.
We're just curious what's going on with the island. Are you guys doing renovations, upkeep? What's going on?
This patrol boat started tailing us.
They started following us when we left, and they really don't seem to want us around.
Epstein Island, a place that this boat captain would rather forget.
So you can't go there without being tailed, without being followed. And several other YouTubers have snuck their way onto the island, and respect to them, okay? Just at the start of this year, on January the 30th, 2026, the YouTuber Nico Grigg attempted to get near the island, and they actually captured a couple of people that were apparently living there in the video. Look at this.
Things happened on that island. So at this point, we actually ended up changing our plan. JC and Bragan were distracting our instructor, Eric, so Matt and I decided to just start driving towards Epstein Island, even though Eric told us not to go anywhere near it. But as we were getting closer to Epstein Island, I seen Eric in the corner of my eye speeding towards Matt, and he stopped us.
We are so close. Oh my God, there's a girl looking at me. What the f am I looking at, bro? Who are these people, bro? What do you know? Oh, they're calling the cops. That lady's still looking, bro. She's taking pictures of us. I gotta say cheese. Oh, GC.
So look, you can't get close to the island without getting paparazzi'd, basically. So he apparently received a message saying, "Hello, I work at Little St. James. We saw you today. If you try and come on, we will have you arrested and detained." Now, interestingly enough, there's another brave soul, Tyler Oliveira, okay, legendary YouTuber, controversial YouTuber. We won't get into that today. He truly did sneak onto Jeffrey Epstein's island, and he actually ran up on the creepy temple. Okay, real deal spill. He actually did this. This one's crazy. Okay. Oh, look at that. No, I think my YouTube's malfunctioning today.
That's me running towards the satanic temple of the evil billionaire Jeffrey Epstein on his private island swarming with security.
Oh my God, I've been detected. Shoot me if you dare! What are you hiding up?
He did real deal spill get up there, okay? He actually climbed onto the island. He walked right up there, okay? And he said that he could see people. He got chased by security. Look at this.
The wrong fucking turn.
I made it to the beach.
He's lucky, man. If he wasn't careful, he could have been meeting Jeffrey Epstein, if you know what I mean.
Undetected, and I was headed towards the temple. Now, with this temple as the source of the signal interference, it was only logical that there might be something hiding there waiting for me to find. And keep in mind, this is a rough map of the island, and right now I'm here, and this is where I'm headed, forcing me to essentially sneak up a cliff to hopefully avoid security.
Don't get fucking arrested. Jesus.
So there was security on the island. He did eventually make his way up there, and look at this.
A literal mountain to Epstein's temple, still somehow undetected.
He ran up in there. Respect.
Undetected thus far still. You think they'd buy security cameras or something?
With only the open road standing between me and the temple, it was time to go for it.
We made it to the temple. We made it to the temple. Undetected thus far. This is the temple where crazy stuff went down. Look at this place. Blocked off by steel. Blocked off by wood. Tasha, over there.
Come on, Tyler.
God, if you're alive, protect me. Came through there, weaved my way all the way up to here. Look at this. There's a giant cliff here, by the way. Giant cliff, and then everything's boarded off. The entire place looks to be repainted. It used to be blue and yellow. A ladder right here, almost as if they just repainted the place. And it is literally pure white now. Someone took a dump right there. This is the place where evil things went down. In this temple right here, there used to be a giant sun compass that was removed, apparently. There's a bonfire right here, maybe where they burned people alive or not. I've gotten up here successfully, undetected. There's like a speaker right there. But beyond that, seems to be low-level security right now. Okay, there's a sailboat coming in right there. That's not what we want to see. Right now, it's a race against time. Hopefully I don't go to jail. Horrid things went down here. Look at all these benches. Very out of place benches, right? Get benches right here, bench right there, bench right there, bench right there. Look at that, this makes no sense. I'm gonna go back down, see if we can examine the estate. This time I might have to go blitzkrieg. Now I see the rot, my pants are nearly falling off. Looks like an unfinished construction pathway. Let's see what's in.
Now he ends up getting clocked by the security, and he has to really do the dash. All right, he has to actually get to it.
I'm running. I'm running. I'm running. Is that fast enough?
As I ran away from security, I saw this.
Oh no, they got me. I need to run. I need to run.
Now, he did make it off the island, okay? You don't need to see him just getting sweaty running around, all right? But he did literally make it off the island, jumped into the sea.
To jump.
I'm going down. You can't stop coming down. Going into the water. Watch me speak me up. Okay, made it into the water. Security. You have to apprehend me. I'm swimming as fast as I can. Waiting for Pasha to pick me up. Come on, Pasha.
Whoa. What's that? I just built a budgeting app in Base 44.
Guys, Nina just built an app.
So clearly there's goons, clearly there's security on the island. Now, what's really interesting, okay, is apparently, all right, when YouTubers and other people have been going to the island over the years, all right, even though the island has allegedly been sold, there's an unverified photo that's making the rounds where somebody actually claims that they have taken a photograph of Epstein's surviving girlfriend, Karina, right, apparently on the island. This is a text that's going around. It's unverified. It says, Karina, hope my message finds you well. It's been so long. Dear Karina, how are you you are so gorgeous. How's the weather on the island? All right, that would be creepy as hell. All right, I'm not going to lie. I don't know if that looks quite like her, but she's probably aged a bit and she's probably been stressed out with everything going on. But there's been a lot of discussion, especially on Reddit, about who's still occupying the island. This particular photo, okay, it says, who are the people currently on the island? It says, and why does no one seem to care? People who have tried to sneak in obviously have seen the security. That's expected, but some videos also capture a female casually walking in a bathrobe. You don't tell me that's a female security guard be just changing out like that in the mansion. Besides, who's paying for security on the island? Is it US government or who? There seems to be no presence of federal agents, just a private security company. People saying the current owner, specifically his daughter, okay, they're saying I heard they were going to convert into an adult retreat, which is odd considering it's a past. What's old is new again. But they're saying maybe that's the daughter of the guy that bought it. People saying I don't understand why it was able to be bought and sold so quickly when so much happened on that island. It really shows the government's complicity. The same with Epstein's ranch that wasn't raided. It was all sold quickly. Okay. Now, it's interesting. I would have thought the government would have seized these assets, held on to them for evidence and investigation. What's more, what about Great St. James? He owned that island. It's much bigger and much harder to reach than St. James. He destroyed several hundred years of architectural buildings. Nobody's gotten access. Now, that's the other island that apparently, I think they were both sold together, funnily enough, and I don't think that island was developed, so I don't know if that one's really a smoking gun. It says, the people who posted this initially, the ones who snuck on the island, give me such a bad feeling. YouTube accents. I do think it's a bit of a gimmick just for views. However, any publicity on Epstein is good publicity to wake up the world. The whole island needs to be dug up and the waters around it investigated too. It's effed up that someone could just be casually living on one of the most prolific crime scenes in history, especially with that floor opening that goes straight to the ocean. My bad. So the history of the island is interesting. Whenever I comment about it, the engagement analytics tank. That's fascinating. Okay, it says, why is this island allowed to be sold? It's literally evidence in a trafficking ring and also a murder case. So yeah, all right, you get the gist. All right, look, the island is still going. It's still popping. There's still people there. Let me know what you guys think. Okay, should I pull up to the island? I don't know if I'm brave enough to do that, to be completely honest with you guys. I don't know if I've got the stones to pull up to the island, but shout out to the YouTubers that did. I know people find YouTubers annoying like that. But
jet skis while being goofy tourist vloggers asking if there are any nearby islands we should take a look at while we toured the ocean.
Should we go through Little James and Big James, or those no-nos?
No, don't go through there.
They'll shoot us.
Don't go through there.
Somebody's island. Oh, it's somebody's island.
Yeah.
By the government?
No, private.
What would happen? Not that we would ever do that.
I don't know, but you don't want to find out?
Easy.
You don't want to find out. Yeah, I bet.
You watch Netflix a lot, right?
No.
Good for you.
Okay, all right.
Good for you.
Captain Isaac, we're out. Okay, we're gonna go straight there and then right. I'm on the jet ski. We have this for like 5 hours. We need to do this quick before we get detected by authorities and our jet ski guys, because they are super sussed out by me.
We're headed to Epstein's Island. What can go wrong?
And after 15 minutes...
Bro. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of whenever I would get on like a Warcraft beta and I would try to go out of bounds. I would try to go to like GM. It's like he's trying to go to GM Island.
Minutes of driving this jet ski like Tom Cruise,
You know?
I had made it to Epstein Island, Little James.
That's where all the game masters are.
I don't know who's there, what security measures they're taking. There's probably government watching, and there might be personal security on the island.
As I got
going
closer
on
to the
adventure,
island, it was clear I wasn't alone.
Okay, we have made it to the island.
Oh
Look at that
my
sign.
God.
Private property, no trespassing.
He's about
And
to
there
trespass.
is Epstein Island.
Honestly, like, we gotta admit, whenever his password was #1 island, I gotta believe him.
Of the evil billionaire Jeffrey Epstein on his private island swarming with security.
Oh my God, we're being detected. Shoot me if you dare! What are you hiding, Epstein? Made it to the U.S. Virgin Islands. Epstein, where are you?
So the first part of this scheme was to get our hands on 2 jet skis while being goofy tourist vloggers asking if there were any nearby islands we should take a look at while we toured the ocean.
Should we go through Little James and Big James, or those no-nos?
No, don't go through there.
They'll shoot us. What will happen?
Somebody's island.
Oh, it's privately owned.
Yeah.
By the government?
No, private.
What would happen? Not that we would ever do that.
I don't know, but you don't want to find out?
Easy. We're good then.
You watch Netflix a lot, right?
No.
Good for you.
Okay, all right. Captain Isaac, we're out. Okay, we're gonna go straight there and then right. I'm on the jet ski. We have this for like 5 hours. We need to do this quick before we get detected by authorities and our jet ski guys, because they are super sussed out by me.
We're headed to Epstein's Island. What can go wrong?
And after 15 minutes of driving this jet ski like Tom Cruise, I had made it to Epstein Island, Little James.
Dude, we made it. You can see the temple. I don't know who's there, what security measures they're taking. There's probably government watching, and there might be personal security on the island.
And as I got closer to the island, it was clear I wasn't alone.
Okay, we have made it to the island. Look at that sign. Private property, no trespassing. And there is Epstein Island, Little James. There's a boat on the island right now. The question is, who could it be and why? There's literally someone right there on the island. Okay, we have more people. Look, it's a whole operation out here. Look at this. A golf cart, people that work here. We have a dog. Who is this man? Okay, we have another person, bigger woman and her dog. Probably security or maintenance, but hired by who? A new owner? The government? I'm not sure.
And it turns out Epstein's Island is for sale by Epstein's estate for over $125 million. But why is there still so much security on the island if he's dead? And what are the owners of Epstein's Island still hiding?
Are they headed my direction? This is a little bit eerie. We have a giant woman, and now they are leaving. We're gonna have to beach somewhere else. We're gonna have to do this quick. We need to get in and out, or we're gonna get shot, I'm convinced. Boss is gonna whip out the drone, see how many people are on the island itself. I've already seen 4 people. Launch the drone. Go, my child, find the truth, inspect the area.
Now, while at first it seems like a normal island a billionaire might abandon, once the drone flies in a little closer, you begin to notice these carts driving across the island. But who are they and what are they protecting? And then, once the drone started getting closer to the temple, this weird white building on the highest point of the island where people believe it was used for evil satanic rituals, our drone began to experience unexplainable signal interference.
RF signal interference. We lost it? So we've lost the drone. They've interfered with the drone. They don't have control.
Now, it's important to note that in the last known footage of this temple, the temple was painted in this blue-gold pattern, and there's a giant sundial adjacent to it. This now means that the sundial was recently removed and the temple was completely repainted white. But the question is, what are they covering up? And then I saw this.
See a guy building right there. Look, literally right there. Look, look, look. Yep, there is another golf cart coming this way. Oh, it's going to get the drone. Okay, don't get caught, Pasha. There he is. There he is. Who is this man? Who is this man right here? We're going to storm the beach like Normandy right now, get on the island, and hopefully not get shot or apprehended.
After barely pulling the drone back in, after losing signal, and confirming this place was swarming with what we believe to be armed security, it was time to storm the beach like Normandy.
There's the temple!
And that was exactly where I was headed.
Mysterious stairway, almost like it's inviting us to enter. Okay, we have another no trespassing sign right there. No trespassing sign right there.
And after a full peripheral scope of the island, it was now time to infiltrate.
Hey, go! Pray for me. Okay. Let's get on shore. Let's get on shore. Okay, I'm on the island. The temple's behind me. I'm going straight for the temple. There's the arches right there. Let's see if I see this.
Turn.
I had made it to the beach undetected, and I was headed towards the temple. Now, with this temple as the source of the signal interference, it was only logical that there might be something hiding there waiting for me to find. And keep in mind, this is a rough map of the island, and right now I'm here. And this is where I'm headed, forcing me to essentially sneak up a cliff to hopefully avoid security.
Don't get arrested. Jesus Christ. Using all the skills I learned from playing video games right now, I'm atop the hill. We have not been detected yet, which is surprising.
There's the drone in the air. There's Tyler.
And my basic strategy here is to find something to hide behind, regain my breath, and then run as fast as I can, slowly making progress to the temple and avoiding security along the way.
Okay, my cardio's gassed. I'm gonna keep going on this road. Looks like it's built for go-karts. Let's keep going. We're going for it, baby. I think we've been detected. We've gotten to the side. I've not been detected yet. I see this. Looks like an unfinished home. We have that right there. I'm getting cooked out here in the sun to the temple. This thing's steep as a mother. Yeah. Slowly but surely. Okay, we're going up. We're going up. Okay. There's the temple. I might just climb up the hill. Let's see if I can get it. Okay, let's do this. Once I go up there, I'm kind of screwed. I don't want to get shot. It should probably be loud.
And with my massive calves, I scaled up the side of a literal mountain to Epstein's temple, still somehow undetected.
Undetected thus far still. You think they'd buy security cameras or something?
With only the open road standing between me and the temple, it was time to go for it.
Okay, we made it to the temple. We made it to the temple. Undetected thus far. This is the temple where crazy stuff went down. Look at this. Look at this. Blocked off by steel. Blocked off by wood. Pasha, over there. Come on, Tyler. God, if you're alive, protect me. Came through there. Weaved my way all the way up to here. Look at this.
Has Kyrie texted you back?
I don't want to talk about
You need to talk.
There's a giant cliff here, by the way. Giant cliff, and then everything's boarded off. The entire place looks to be repainted. It used to be blue and yellow. A ladder right here. I'm running. I'm running. I'm running. I'm running. He's not fast enough on foot. I'm fast boy.
As I ran away from security, I saw this.
Oh no. They got me. I need to run. I need to run.
Now, security was right behind me, going full speed in my direction.
Oh no. You can't stop me.
I can't exactly understand what they're saying, but they're screaming at me the whole time.
Run! No, I'm good. We're good. We're good. I'm out of here. They're behind us. We made it down here. Once we get to the beaches, we're good. A brand new pool right here. We seeing this? Security behind me. They're not as fast as me though. Gotta keep going. Good training for this day. Security. Oh, he's coming.
And as I began to run away, Pasha notices this, pulls the drone in, and begins zooming over on his jet ski to pick me up, right as I unknowingly approach a cliff.
Uh-oh.
And at this moment, it looked like I had no choice but to jump.
I'm going down. He can't see. He's not coming down. I'm going into the water. Pasha needs to pick me up. Okay, committed into the water. Security, you have to apprehend me. I'm swimming as fast as I can, waiting for Pasha to pick me up. Come on, Pasha. Shoot me if you dare! I'm in international waters! What are you hiding, Epstein? What are you hiding, Epstein? What are you hiding? I'm waiting on Pasha on the getaway. There's Pasha with the jet ski. There's my getaway jet ski. We're getting out of here. I escaped. All right, we're making out. You're gonna tip. Give me your hand. All right, easy. They thought they could get me.
Grab the handles.
All right, go! We escaped with all the footage untouched. I breathe air. You suck.
But as we zoomed back and made our way to the airport, I saw this.
I think we're being followed by a Fed right now.
That's me running
We escaped with all the footage untouched.
the airport, I saw this.
I think we're being followed by a Fed right now.
It's the cheap challenge. It's the cheap challenge. It's the cheap challenge. It's the cheap challenge. King Buddha, it's never too late to awake you. King Buddha, it's never too late for mistake to. King Buddha, it's never too late to awake you. King Buddha, it's never too late for mistake to. King Buddha, shut up or shut up. King Buddha, shut up or shut up. Fuck.